When you have 9 times as many kids as you do yards in the third quarter, this is the face you make. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. I will never know what the gritty is, Perna. But I will never criticize what I don't understand, which will make me forever young, unlike that senior citizen discount radio jockey Colin Cowherd. Wait, no, let me be a curmudgeon for a second. I spell gritty with 2 T's, and I use that word to describe the Colts' defense. Which is unfortunate because I also spell shitty with 2 T's, and that's how I describe the Colts' offense. We do have the best and worst of NFL Sunday to highlight today, including the man the NFL should suspend, Jabril Peppers, for this Johnny Lawrence move on Kyle Allen. Plus, former Broncos linebacker and special teams legend Keith Burns wore a pair of gym shorts as a face mask on the sideline of the Raiders-Chargers game. Medical experts confirmed Keith is protected from COVID, but his chances for contracting taintitis rose significantly. And a sweet loss by crappy Tom Brady. Whew, that's good sports. Please, if you're new to this YouTube channel and you want football content shoved down your throat, subscribe here. Today's episode is sponsored by Magic Spoon, my favorite cereal. Look, I used to eat a giant bowl of chocolate-flavored cereal every morning for breakfast. But about 2.5 years ago, I decided to cut out as much unnecessary sugar and carbs from my daily eating routine as possible. Cereal was the first to go, and it left a giant void in my life, like a certain football team has done for the last 4 years. Then I found Magic Spoon, which contains 0 grams of sugar, 11 grams of protein to feed my growing muscles, and just 3 net grams of carbs. And they have my delicious cocoa cereal, which I can now eat for breakfast guilt-free. My dad also had to remove gluten totally from his diet, which is not easy unless you have great replacement options like Magic Spoon. I got him the Magic Spoon Variety Pack, as it's gluten, soy, grain, and GMO free. So if you're trying to cut junk from your diet, click my link below, magicspoon.com/thatsgood, and sample all of the flavors with the Variety Pack. If you don't love Magic Spoon for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. Promo code THATSGOOD. Best. Phillip Rivers with the most embarrassing tackling attempt we have ever witnessed. Watching Rivers trying to make this tackle is like expecting a simple latex condom to block his high-velocity ropes. The Colts dominated this game up front through the first half and into the third quarter. This stop on the goal line with the strip was huge. That ball was touched by so many hands that it has to go through COVID protocol and isolate for the next 10 days. Worst. How ironic is it that in the game, Dez Bryant returned to the NFL for the first time since 2017. This was ruled a catch. Dez was probably talking about how back in his day, you had to catch the ball, pull it in, make a football move, say the alphabet backwards, and give the refs a quick smooch on the lips. And even then, they might reverse it. Best. Lamar Jackson went 10 for 10 to start the second half and capped it with a rushing tutty. Lamar correctly figured out that the only way to ensure the refs don't call a pass an interception is if you successfully complete every pass to your own players. Nice win for the Ravens. Best. The Bills are 7-2 for the first time in 27 years. Josh Allen went off, outstatting Russell Wilson in yards with 415 and touchdowns, 3-2. This was the Bills' most convincing win of the season. Buffalo jumped out to a 14-0 lead in this game, and just when you thought Russ would cook up a touchdown, he got belayed by Jordan Poyer with an end zone pick that burned Wilson's hand on the stove. Yeah. Too much cooking, I know. Worst, it's harder to appreciate the beauty that is Russ to DK when the Seahawks get their asses kicked. At this point, it feels like trying to cover DK Metcalf will either be embarrassing for the defender or extremely physically painful. Best. A McCaffrey scoring on the Chiefs is the best thing I can see on Sunday outside of the Broncos scoring touchdowns. It feels like my childhood. The only thing missing is knowing he'll play through a concussion every week like his father. Worst. You just know Andy Reid was mixing margaritas and Mai Tais on top of some barbecue when he dreamed up this little number, sending Mahomes in motion for no fucking reason. It's not enough that Demarcus Robinson would have been open regardless. He had to add a little unnecessary wrinkle to the play, like grating some Parmesan cheese on top of a steak. Not to spoil Andy Reid's new cookbook coming out this Christmas. Worst. Watching Patrick Mahomes get to 100 passing touchdowns faster than any other player in NFL history, doing it in just 40 games. And fitting, he threw it to the fastest player in the league. Mahomes also passed Aaron Rodgers for lowest interception percentage of any NFL QB to attempt over 1,000 passes, and is projected to make Travis Kelce the first tight end with 4 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Worst, the damn Bears offense, which accumulated 2 first downs in the first half. Best, one of those first downs was earned by linebacker Barkevious Mingo, aka the best running back on the Bears roster. Best, seeing Desmond King, the guy the Chargers just traded away, scoop up and score on a game-changing defensive play. Best, Dalvin Cook, what a beast. He scored a touchdown in 18 of his last 21 games and broke the 200-yard rushing mark for the first time in his career against the Lions in this throttling of Detroit. This week was the 13th anniversary of Adrian Peterson breaking the single-game rushing record in 2007, so it's fitting that a Viking running back treated a defense like an unsuspecting town it would pillage. Cook was the Vikings' second leading receiver behind Justin Jefferson with 46 yards, and he's just been the best damn player on the field the last 2 weeks. 6 total touchdowns in that time and 478 yards of offense. Best, Jerry Jeudy had a breakout performance and showed he can fake out a defender with his hand alone. He and KJ Hamler combined for exactly 200 yards, showing the future at wide receiver is in good hands. Well, mostly good hands. Worst, the great NFC East, summed up in one play. Nobody in this division wants to win, and this play shows that more clearly than an x-ray showing Alex Smith's leg was broken. Best, Daniel Jones is 4-0 against Washington, and 1-17 versus all other NFL teams. Best, Alex Smith comes into the game. Worst, Smith came into the game after Kyle Allen suffered a nasty dislocated ankle. This is like getting into an accident, sending your car to the shop, and then getting back James Dean's refurbished convertible as a rental. At that point, you just want a big, safe truck like Phillip Rivers. Alex Smith threw his first touchdown since November 11th, 2018, when he began his journey of becoming a bionic man. Worst, Dirty Jabril Peppers ended Alex Smith's chance for a comeback, as did Logan Ryan, both defenders with picks in the final minutes of the game. Best, I guess, J.J. Watt notched his 100th career sack, and he was kind enough to not obtain that by dropping Gardner Minshew. Minshew was out with a finger injury, and as CBS noted, because he was a convenient scapegoat for the Jags. Best, Jake Luton threw for over 300 yards in his NFL debut, proving QB ain't the problem in Jacksonville, as they still lost. Worst, Derek Carr completed the longest pass of his life, which means I can't call him Check Down Derek this week. An absolute bomb to Hunter Renfrow. Raiders fans, which do you prefer? Carr deep or Carr leap? He did both, and I rhymed them. Justin Herbert and Derek Carr engaged in an old-fashioned shootout that was very entertaining. But guess what? This time, it was the Chargers' turn with a chance to win on a last-second touchdown. Worst, and they did! Donald Parham goes up, gets 2 feet down and an elbow down, but no, he couldn't hang on to the ball. Jesus Christ almighty, the Chargers keep inventing new, heartbreaking ways to lose. They were about to exorcise their demons from a week ago, and they end up failing in the exact opposite way they did last week. Somewhere, Boltman is sticking his high-voltage fingers in an electrical socket. Wait, would that kill him? I think it might just make him stronger. Like if I fell into a vat of discarded body hair and I just emerged hairier, stronger, and probably incapable of seeing my penis. Best, the Dolphins' rebuild is starting to take shape. Tank for Tua was correct, after all. Their defense started the game with a strip sack return for a touchdown. It wasn't Van Ginkel, but still great. Dolphins kicker Jason Sanders has made all of his field goals this season, including a 50-yard game winner in this one, and Tua went tit for tat with Kyler Murray. Murray was electric, 104 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 283 passing yards, and 3 tugs. And if you'll believe it, this was actually Kyler Murray's first 100-yard rushing game in the NFL, and his 9 rushing touchdowns this season are more than 17 other NFL teams. And Zane Gonzalez missed a 49-yard field goal attempt at the end of this game to shit right on Kyler Murray's tiny heart. Worst, Kyler Murray played the best game I've ever seen a QB lose, next to Justin Herbert every week. Best, the Dolphins-Cardinals game was the game of the week. When was the last time anyone ever said that about Dolphins-Cardinals? According to my stats, fucking never. 4 straight Dolphins wins. Best, 2 things I didn't expect I'd be seeing in 2020, Garrett Gilbert and Sarah Gilbert on TV. Like the AAF in 2018, no part of me thought the Connors would last more than 1 season. This feels like the first Cowboys touchdown we've seen since the original Roseanne was on television. The Cowboys ran a successful trick punt return with a backwards pass, but took some of its sweetness away with an illegal block in the back. An illegal block that set up the touchdown-saving tackle. If the block helps the defender, then it shouldn't be a penalty. If a player screws his team twice on the same play, it offsets, right? After an ugly first half, the Steelers win behind 3 Big Ben touchdowns and remain the most beatable 8-0 team I've ever seen. And here we are. Best, Chris Godwin playing wide receiver with a surgically repaired broken finger. With all of the dropped passes Julian Edelman had last season, Brady said, "This couldn't be any worse." And boy, was he wrong. I'm not a religious man, but even I have to keep my heart open for a higher power when I see a team called the Saints score 31 first-half points to the Tom Brady-led Buccaneers 0. Drew Brees threw 3 first-half touchdowns to Tom Brady's 2 interceptions. Without any hint of sarcasm, I can say Tom Brady was the worst quarterback of the entire weekend. His 40.4 passer rating was the lowest in the league. His 3 picks were tied with Alex Smith for the most. Alex Smith has a Frankenstein fucking leg. Tom Brady has 4 Pro Bowl ball catchers on his offense now. Washed, and you're still fucking dirty, Tom. Do credit Tom Brady for even showing up to this game, because we all know this was a really hard week for him. Also credit him for not banging his helmet on the bench or admonishing his teammates when he was the only player to blame for the train of shit left on the field by that Pirates booty. Drew Brees extended his all-time touchdown lead by 3 with 4 in the game, and Brady finished with 3 picks and the dishonor of watching a backup, poetically Jameis Winston, finishing the game for the Saints. The Saints are now in first place in the NFC South, and Jameis Winston and Cameron Jordan are first place on the FBI's watch list for possible cannibals. Here we are, the most phallic award segment in all sports, the Big Dick Player Awards. Proving, after last week, that he's more grower than shower, Tua Tagovailoa earns the Big Dick Quarterback Award in his second ever start in the NFL. In a battle of number ones, Tua went into the desert and defeated a red-hot Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, putting up 248 yards and 2 touchdowns in an impressive 34-31 victory. Did I resent Tua for dethroning Ryan Fitzpatrick? You're damn right I did. But he's proved that, while not quite as entertaining, he can keep the Dolphins rolling, and they are 5-3 and currently the 7th seed in the AFC and officially the hottest team in Florida. Big Dick Ball Carrier. No, I am not giving it to Dalvin Cook. You cannot give one man 3 Big Dick Player awards in one season. That'll go to his head. And it feels like I would just be copying and pasting this every week. So I had to look a little harder. I had to think outside the box. So I decided to give it to a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater. He looked like Teddy Elway, Teddy Raging Rapids, Teddy throws, but he can also Roosevelt. I'm giving the award to Teddy solely for this run where he put his body on the line to get a clutch first down in a losing effort. And then finishing off the drive with a touchdown scamper for good measure. 19 rushing yards for Teddy, and I'm giving him the award because I can do whatever the hell I want. Big dick receiver. Despite the passage of time, Davante Adams still deserves the title of Big Dick Receiver from Thursday night. Although it was against a monumentally injured 49ers team in a game that probably should not have been played, he still hauled in 10 passes for 173 yards and a touchdown, and did a lot of it against Jason Verrett, who's been one of the best corners in the league this season. Adams didn't even have the most receiving yards in this game. That was Richie James with 184, nor did Adams have the most touchdowns. That was his teammate Marquez Valdez-Scantling with 2. But he changes the way the Packers play on offense, and he makes Aaron Rodgers look like a younger man. And finally, the big dick defense. Everyone on the Bills. They went up against the MVP of the first 8 games and picked up 5 sacks, picked Russ Wilson off twice, and recovered a pair of fumbles. Did they give up 34 points in the process? Maybe. But they helped my preseason prediction that Aaron Rodgers would win MVP. Because after Thursday night and this game and Sunday night, the scales are tipping in Rodgers' favor, and more importantly, my favor. The game was sealed with a strip sack by AJ Klein, and Russell Wilson is 0-1 since trademarking Let Russ Cook. Thanks for watching. That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube for lots of football videos, and I will have a Broncos fan reaction to that crappy Falcons game up tonight.